Welcome to Schizo Garage. Da, 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 da. Schizo Garage. Da, 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 da. I didn't walk over there yet. You see us going for that? I was gonna go walk over there, and then, yeah. You see how it goes. So it begins. Yeah, it's weird. What do you call that? Like that thing that happens to me? There's a name for it. Like whenever I leave the house, if you ever watch the Schizo Garage episode, you'd see it in action. Like where I stand, someone wants me to move. But like it's the distinct feeling that when you leave your house, see, I'm not going to be trapped here. When you leave your house, you get the feeling that everybody was doing something else before you came out. It's very Truman Show-esque, you know, like, what is that called? It's gotta have a name for it. Oh, I think it's paranoid schizophrenia. No, that's, I have that too, though. I have most elements. It's July 1st, so Mental Health Awareness Month is over, which is too bad, because I only got one video out about it. But I have a whole playlist of that shit. It's interesting. It's depressing. You know, we all have it, probably. You know, if you're here watching me, most likely you know what I'm talking about when it comes to that stuff. I was in I've been in that system, I guess you could call it, or industry, which is what I refer to it as, because it's a for-profit situation. You know, for years. What? When did I first get in? What year? In earnest. It was 2008. In earnest. And, yeah, I'm not going to go over the whole thing. It's fucking good. See the mental health playlist for fun and depressing stories. It's also the end of Pride Month. And I got to say, this year was kind of subdued. I think the companies are finding that there's not a lot of return on that. You know, the going in for the gays. And plus, they're trying to get the white men on their side because they're still going to do that war. There's been some talk on the boards about how there's going to be some kind of false flag event in multiple U.S. cities this summer that's going to kick off. They want that boots on the ground. You know, they want boots on the ground really bad. Especially over in Israel, they want that really bad. Not their boots on the ground, but like white American guys on the ground. Specifically. I mean, well, who else would go on the ground? I mean, yeah, you have some female in the army, but what a disaster that turned out to be. That and female policing. Oh my God, what kind of society makes their women a fucking bullet sponge? It's just wrong, you know? Women are supposed to be... I was thinking the other day, you know how they have this like left and right paradigm, and it's getting crazier and crazier and more spread apart. And I think what that has to do with is the breakup of the community. When you everybody kind of lives in their own little apartment and they don't talk to anybody or associate with anybody, it makes that divide much wider because you don't see people. You just think like you don't know what's going on in the fucking apartment next to you. And you think, wow, that guy must be a crazy leftist, or he must have voted for so-and-so, or that guy must be a Trump tard. So when you do see each other, it's a lot more explosive and, you know, there's all these built-up things. But I think naturally, right, men are more conservative, where women are more liberal, and I think that's how it's supposed to be. Because, I mean, if you think about the things about liberalism, it's about, like, feelings and empathy for people. Not saying that the conservatives don't, but the conservatives are more practical, you know, pragmatic. Like, we gotta, where the liberals will throw the baby out with the bathwater. They'll definitely go. They fucking hate babies. But, I mean, they'll let their emotions override themselves to end up having some kind of catastrophe. Where on the other side, they can become so militant and logic focused that they'll end up losing the humanity. It's like, to have a good system, you kind of need both. It's weird, like they split it down the middle. They split two sides of the human experience and push them on severe ends, and they expect you to kind of figure out which end of the human fucking experience you want to be in. It's fucked up. And then on top of it, you isolate people, You get them living in this kind of world where, you know, people are online all the time, and there's less community. I don't know who lives around me. Fucking no idea. I mean, I know my immediate kind of neighbors, but this place is all, it's lots of, what is that, Airbnb? They could be shooting CP in these fucking rooms and I wouldn't know. You know, that's why I have a lot of booby traps in my apartment. As much as I like to have the security so no one's coming in, I wouldn't mind if they did. I wouldn't fucking mind if they did. So, yeah, it's almost like women are meant to be, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's keeping me from walking out over there is what he's doing because I don't trust him. He's going out again. Just look at this. He doesn't even live here. What do you think he's doing, guys? It's not just him. It's every driver around here is like this. Especially in Schizo garage. I mean, we've seen it. They'll come in like down here, and I'll be all the way the fuck down the other end, standing against the wall. And even like coming down here, they need to be right where I am. Wait, what is this nigga doing? That's a bad spot because people come in all the time. It's just going to be a clusterfuck. Let's walk down the other end of this Schizo garage. See if we can get some peace down there. You know, people in the garage. It's almost like always. Hey, what's going on there? It's almost like I have they're a dog and I have fucking meat in my back pocket. You know, they aim their cars at me. Yeah, you've seen it. You've seen it so many times. If you have been here, people really don't watch these Schizo garage episodes. It's good, bad because there's a lot of breakthroughs happen here. And I also talk a lot of mad shit here too, so because I know no one's gonna be watching. I've been pretty good with that lately. Like this was another Good Boy Summer. I think it's Good Boy Summer until this month. I bet, you know what? Good Boy Summer's over. I think my cutoff month was July to get out of my current in trouble zone. Because I was in a trouble zone where if I got in trouble one more time, I was supposed to lose my channel. Although, the past few times I was supposed to lose my channel, they let me keep it. It's pretty cool of them. I don't know why. I think it may have something to do with spiritual warfare. I always say for you to take yourself out and whatever it is, you kind of have to do it to yourself. You know, that's how evil works. Spiritual karma or whatever it is. They can't just do shit to you. You kind of have to do it to yourself. How you doing? I guess there's no way to go and get survive. It's alright though. It's fucking hot out there. The sun's out there, so I'm gonna go out and look and get some shade. But yeah, so Pride Month is over. And like I said, it was kind of subdued. What are we talking about? Mental health. There's a reason I started this Schizo garage episode, and I immediately got thrown because as soon as I start down here, I'm just under siege. I'm just always under siege. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to continue. This might be a jam episode. I might do Schizo garage and back cave H&L. I might go up there. I finished this up there. I'll give this one more shot. Let me go over here. I'll go over here. Oh, look at all those people over there now. Yeah, it's fucking mental, right? Like, there'll be no one in here, and it's like, this is where you get into quantum physics and stuff. Like, this happens in stores, too. Like, I'll go into a fairly empty store, maybe early in the morning, and I'll have, like, something on my mind that I want to look at. Usually toys, you know, go to the toy section. And because I have my focus on the toys, I don't know, at least in my opinion, I drive all the other focus to the toys. So by the time I get over there, there's like 100 people there, just standing around looking at nothing. No one's buying anything. They're just fucking blocking my fucking way, you know? Did this turn into fucking bitch fest? Yeah, it has. Well, because it's fucking it's a Truman Show. It's a fucking Truman Show. Alright, I'm gonna go up in the back cave. Hang on. Alright. Trying again. I will attempt to finish what I was talking about. If I can remember what the fuck it was. A few months ago, right? I think it was a couple, whatever. I was talking about how the aubergine window is moving. The Orville Redenbacher window. And how it's getting more away from walking around certain groups and peak clubs, like the LGBT, the Jewish community, the black community, the ones that are usually used by our masters to metaphorically beat white men around the head and neck with. That's starting to change. For a while it was like you couldn't really say anything or do anything. I mean, even talking about it, not even saying anything derogative, just pointing out truths about it, stuff that's happening in the world. You couldn't really do anything about that or say anything about that. And I saw the aubergine window was moving in the opposite direction because people had just kind of had enough. And that's how they run things here. They wait till people have just had just about enough, and then they allow a shift. They do this in politics all the time. Like they give the left power, the liberals power, and they do all kinds of liberal stuff. And the other side, the other half of the country, gets more and more fed up until just about the time when the side getting fed up starts looking at our masters, they let them have the power again. And then the other side gets fed up. And then they let them get fed up to the point where they're just about to start looking at the masters again. And then they let the other side have the power. It just goes like that, back and forth, back and forth. The same way, in a similar way, the Orville Redenbacher window, they let it move way to a certain direction, and then they sort of ease up and let it go in the other direction. Now, a lot of it has to do with, of course, what I was saying earlier about wanting to have a war. You know, they want to be able to send white men to war because they're the only ones that can do it. I mean, that make a deciding factor. There's not a lot of female brigades, or there's not a lot of, you know, diverse brigades, Latino brigades. There are Latinos and blacks in the army, of course, but they're not a substantial number that's going to decide any kind of conflict. And it's not even about the conflict itself. It's just about sacrificing people, you know, getting rid of the white men into the meat grinder. Because all countries, none of them are mad at each other. There's no conflict between them. They're all ruled by the same people. So what it is, it's just largely a blood sacrifice, and a way for them to get rid of more of the people that they want to get rid of, which is people like me. So in order to get white men to want to go and die for their country, they had to make the country more palatable to them as people, their sensibilities as individuals. And from 2016 up until almost the modern day, it's been so hostile toward them in just about every space that they had to start kind of easing off that a bit. And that's why you see the aubergine window kind of going back to culture of being able to criticize and point things out, and without, you know, having people freak out on them. Another thing too, when BLM came in, during BLM, one of the big things was having body cams. They were insisting body cams be put on all these officers to keep them from the officers behaving badly. Instead, what it showed is the exact opposite. You know, in almost every instance, like the cop will go somewhere and just try to get someone to leave an area. Like, hey, we're in Walmart. I just saw one earlier. Woman in Walmart. The store wants her out because she's doing something, you know. And instead of just leaving, they turn it into an incident where, I mean, it's, someone dies. They'll turn a jaywalking ticket into a murder scene. They just escalate and escalate and escalate and escalate. It's kind of unbelievable, you know. People can't take direction. They just get an aggressive stance and they want to fight the fucking cops all the time. So instead of getting transparency so that we could see how brutal some of these opposite interactions are, the opposite has happened. We're just seeing video after video after video after video about these individuals causing trouble in a place, doing something real bad, cops showing up and just trying to, you know, trying to get them to move along or to de-escalate the situation. And instead, they will escalate until it becomes a fucking bloodbath. And at the same time, you know, you add all the anti-white rhetoric that's happening from every corner of culture, and it's just, you get to a point where you're like, you know what, fuck those people. And it's the same thing with the LGBT, same thing with the Jews. It's all, you know, they're just, the feeling of the people is changing. The Overton window is sliding more toward people being able to just speak about this stuff and not be scared and not be worried, not be, somewhat, I mean, there's still people who wouldn't say anything because they're, you know, they might work in a job where they lose their job, because people still lose their jobs over saying something. Just for passing along information, not even saying anything bad. Like, I think that these people are this. It's more just like, hey, look at what this happened. Because, like, I get it on Twitter, on X. All my stuff, there's no editorializing from me. I hardly write on anything. I never write there. I just post something. Post a meme or a picture or statistics. I get a lot of fucking heat from people yelling back at me. Especially since I got that blue check mark. That's another weird kind of psychological thing. Since I got the blue check mark, I don't think people realize you can just buy those now. You just pay a fee, a monthly fee, and you get one. A lot of people are still under the impression that you have to be some kind of credentialed individual. Like, you go through a vetting process and, you know, you have to wait and you finally get the blue check. That's how it used to be. So you'd see, like, you know, public officials or people that were in the media or entertainers or writers or whatever would all have those blue check marks. And I noticed since I put mine on, I get a lot more attention. My posts get passed around more, people engage with them more, like them more, but also at the same time I get a lot more heat because people think, you know, there's clout in going after someone they perceive to have clout. I don't have clout, I just have the fucking stupid thing. And a lot of people have yet to understand that you can just pay a monthly fee, which I do, and you get one, as well as all of these other little services and perks and, you know, what is it, quality of life kind of upgrades, as far as when it comes to Twitter or X. But I'll just pass along information. I'll, like, show a graph or show a news story and get a lot of heat for, oh, you're this and that, or you're right. People call me racist and stuff, which is, I don't really care. That doesn't, I don't think people care about that anymore. I mean, I don't think that's even an issue. But, yeah, so for a long time, you couldn't talk about this stuff at all. And in some quarters, you really still can't. But things are changing enough so that YouTube is kind of lightening up on that stuff. Like, some of these new people in this new situation that I'm about to talk about are saying things that or saying things in line with stuff I've gotten banned before for saying. Now, okay, gonna fake me out. He's gonna come in here. Yes. Let me see. Let me go over here, because every car that comes by keeps threatening to drive in here. I know if they drive in here, they're gonna have to be wherever I am. So I predicted correctly that there would be a whole new grift of people that will talk about this stuff boldly and openly, which is good, you know, because we need to. But they're not going to let people like me do it, you know, because they don't control me. I'm not like, they can't have wild cards doing it. So they put their own people out there who will answer the needs of the people who are frustrated. Kind of like the same way they added all their CIA people to the movie sphere. You know, these guys that yell about woke Hollywood. They have these channels that are the biggest ones are all controlled in some way, whether they're part of an agency, a CAA or something, or they have some kind of situation where they have a handler of some type. Whether some of them don't even realize that's what it is, but that's exactly what it is. And what they do is they drive the traffic to these people that are already controlled. They'd rather have you go to neurotic because they know neurotic when he's talking about how Hollywood is corrupt and how it's ruining everything. He'll never mention that it's because of things like intelligence agencies. He'll never mention the JQ. So they funnel everybody to there. In the same way, these people that are talking about like race and sexuality and the things that, you know, people have silently kind of been angry about, they're going to say it now in a controlled environment. And but they still want to make it look real. So like, I'm not saying everyone in this new wave of grift is a grift, because they weren't around before. You know, I've been talking about this stuff for years. I didn't see them. I just get silence and people giving me the shame finger. But yeah, they all just been, it's almost like almost to the month that I talked about that this was going to happen, a bunch of them have popped up. And again, I'm not saying they're all controlled, but they all came about at once. And it's like a pressure valve for people. Like if someone's having these thoughts, or they're just tired of being pushed around by these groups that have the power of the government behind them, they can now go to a place where they can safely hear someone that they know they isn't going to go too far, that's going to let them have a pressure valve. You know, like, oh, they can go see this person. And that's just how it is. So I was saying at the time, I'm like, yeah, there's going to be a new grift of all people that talk about, like, some of the things I've talked about here for years, but they're going to be official, you know, and they'll be handled, and they'll only be able to talk about so much. And that's exactly what's happened. And I don't want to, like, show a challenge, because I don't want to, like, call people feds or anything, but, you know, I'm thinking about half a dozen right now in my mind that probably possibly fulfill this new group, and they're all doing really well as far as subs and stuff, and the algorithm and interaction, engagement. It's exactly what I said was going to happen, and it did. It's good though in a way, because it's showing that they're allowing people to say things, but the problem is, when the Overton window moves again, then what happens? You know, so you can't build, like, all these people kind of build these new people that are in this new wave of anti everything. Like, we're tired of the gays and the blacks and stuff. This whole new group of people, most of their content is just revolving around that, as you would imagine. You know, someone who was ordained to do these things, you know, would do. But inevitably, the Overton window is going to move again. The Orville Redenbacher window will slide another way, or at least in a political sense. Like, once Trump gets out and someone else comes in, they're going to backtrack on all this stuff, go back on, change all the things he did. That's a weird thing about the presidency. It's like, you know, it's only, none of these things are going to stay. Like when they make this historical blah blah blah, the country says there's only men and women, there's only two genders. Then the next person that comes in, if they're liberal, they just undo it all again. And you know, at that point, you have to start thinking, like, don't people realize what's happening here? Some won't though, some can't, some never will. We will though, and that's good. We'll always be able to meet in these small places like this and point and laugh at everything. At least for now. As I pointed out earlier, I think my good boy summer is over early, because I think it was till July I had to not get in trouble again. And I haven't. I've been, you know, things have been fine. So that's good. I think we're going to be here a little while longer. But yeah, I just want to kind of toss those ideas around. Throw them out there. Toss the ball around. I'm going to go in before Schizo Garage starts to turn up the heat and make it so that I can't do anything here. You know the drill. You know how it is. Thanks for dropping in. And until next time, don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.